Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Dirt 3. Let's hop into this race and do the finals for this race and then be one step closer to being done. We've done everything we can as far as the small triangles on the main menu, which means we shouldn't unlock anything new.
You've been doing really well in head-to-head events recently. Let's keep it
So,
up.
if we don't unlock anything new, then we'll potentially only 14, 15 races to go. Or perhaps better said, 14, 15 more tournaments to go. And who knows how many races that's actually going to be. Because a tournament might be one race or two races or 5 races. Hard to tell. We're doing a standard Rallycross race here. What's funny, to me at least, is I figured this is what Dirt was all going to be about, was this kind of rally racing, and it isn't. It's not. It's barely less than half of the game. Or maybe it's just so easy to forget or merge together what a rally versus a rallycross race is that it doesn't seem to really be that different. I imagine they had rally racing and then they created rallycross racing to be more entertaining.
60, hairpin left. 80, keep left.
I wonder if rally racing... No, rally racing does go on dirt roads. So, rallycross doesn't sound... doesn't mean that. But they are different categories. So we've got to do the same track now 2 more times. And that should win this final, which is... I guess alright to have head-to-head knockout runs like this. Although I would like if half of these head-to-head knockout tournaments were playing by a different style of knockout where every lap or every certain number of seconds the person furthest behind is just eliminated. So because that style forces you to try to get first place as early as possible, and it allows you to make a game where it is more difficult to get in the first place, and not the game that we have here, which is incredibly easy to get to first place and impossible to lose first place once you have it.
Easy left, easy right, narrow. Small scratch, stay focused. Medium left into medium left.
She said something specific there because I hit the wall, I think.
Medium left, narrows over bridge. Easy right. 60. Medium right, under bridge. Into hairpin
I think
left.
you might go halfway in a game like this too and have like BMX and ATV cars in the background
60, hairpin
every
left.
now and then, even if you can't actually simulate that
80, keep left.
in the gameplay or have that type of racing. I think it might go hand in hand.
Finish.
I seriously doubt you wouldn't find at least one motorcycle at a racing track. Just whether it's moving or whether it was parked in some racer motorcycle the way to the race and then got in a car that they don't drive on the road. But I think you would want to bring all of the engine vehicles together under one banner to just make the game feel like it includes that.
Medium left into. Medium left.
It would be interesting, but I suppose there's no such thing as rally
into
racing
medium right.
for motorcycles,
Easy left.
because
Over
your
bridge,
co-pilot would be right behind you on some kind of thing,
jump. 40. Easy left into
and it
easy
would
right.
be probably a lot
right
easier to
into
take
easy
turns
left.
perfectly,
Into open
but
hairpin
a lot
left.
more easy to also damage your vehicle
Easy right.
and
Easy
kill
left.
yourself.
80. Easy left. Easy right. Narrow. Medium left into medium left. Medium left narrows over bridge. Easy right.
I really wish there was an option you could just meet
Medium
these
right under
guys.
bridge.
Just
Into
turn it down
hairpin
to
left.
0 on the instructions.
Under bridge. Medium right.
There's really nothing
Easy
they're
left.
saying that's
Easy
helpful
right.
or
60.
necessary. Not on
Hairpin left.
casual. Casual really kills this game, but intermediate
80.
kills it
Keep
just
left.
as much. Because I would have never gotten anywhere on intermediate. I would have just rage quit before finishing even the first mini tournament. And just forget about advanced. Yeah, right. No way. Unless I had a steering wheel, and maybe if you drive with a steering wheel, you do become very much better at driving this game. And it's a possibility. It's kind of the case with mouse and keyboard on shooters. Is yeah, people with mice that can move the cursor way faster than a gamepad controller can are going to
You've been
be a
doing
lot
great
better
in Rallycross
at
this
the
season.
game.
Let's keep that momentum going.
So we're doing Shibuya. This was DLC. That's why every single time we've seen Shibuya as a race, it's been at the very end after the finals. Brought to us by Monster Energy Drink. Which, why wouldn't the Monster Energy Drink, by the way, be in Japanese? It would have the same logo, certainly, but it would be written the rest of the way in Japanese. Wouldn't you want to advertise to the people at the race, or is this a race that's being filmed worldwide and thus you put it in English? I don't think Monster Energy Drink has much of a foothold if it's sold in Japan, because they have energy drinks that have certain chemicals that aren't allowed in the United States and are still, I think, allowed in Japan. Plus, they also have coffee-infused and alcohol-infused energy drinks, and a very robust amount of energy drinks that are sold in Japan. So I don't think Monster would be super able to compete. Here we go. Keep this race going. All the people setting off horns. Again, I don't think Japanese would set off horns or be allowed to. Look at all these buildings. You're having a race next to all of these buildings, and you're going to be allowed to have racing cars and horns going off? I don't think so. If this was out in the boondocks, if out in the country, maybe, then it would make sense to have a race and set off horns. And there's no real city locations as well developed as this location. There's a few places where you see a few buildings, but nothing as compact and urban as this. And that's probably why it was DLC, is they spent a lot of extra time building buildings and trying to make it look good. I guess I should applaud them for not just going like super stereotypical and having it in the Akihabara district or the Neon district, and just bright colored anime characters everywhere on every sign or anything. Although I don't know why a racing game would go that direction. That's kind of the weird thing about any country, is that depending on where you want to go and what you want to see, you can. Most countries are varied enough that you can have very, very different experiences. Some people could go to Akihabara. Some people could go just to climb Mount Fuji, and they're just climbing a mountain. Which Mount Fuji is not particularly a difficult hiking trail. Or you could go out into the country and just see the countryside. Or you could go to a different section of Tokyo and do fancy restaurants or high fashion shopping and other kinds of shopping in different sections. And we're kind of bored. It's lap 5. We've been in first place since lap 3 at least, if not earlier. And we're just going in circles. And I could certainly see how it might be frustrating if the game were to say right now, you've got this in the bag, and just fade out and give you first place. Particularly if you're trying to get the best time ever. That's really all this game leaves as far as any challenge on casuals. Can I get this 5:13.049 time lower? And there's nowhere where it saves that. So you'd have to pull out some pen and paper and write down your own times, and to even challenge yourself on casual. And that big gap between casual and intermediate still becomes an issue. So here we go again. Probably the same racetrack, just backwards. I guess this evenly wears out the wheels so that you don't have to rotate them as much. The signs there, the oval flag-like signs, probably not the safest things in the world. They seem like they could catch the wind kind of easily and snap under a good gust. And then you'd have something that could potentially be driven over and damage a car, or a distracted driver, fall right on the windshield. And they're just all BF Goodrich. You can see that the number of sponsors here are smaller than what you probably would have in the real world. So you have 4 signs that say Ford, there's 4 signs that say ESPN, 4 signs that say X Games, And then in Shibuya in particular, there's some far off signs in certain places that are just written in Japanese and probably don't mean anything, or just randomly made up. That'd be an interesting study to see if advertising works in languages you don't understand. If you show somebody a billboard advertisement for a Japanese thing, and then like a year later put them in a Japanese store and they don't speak a word of Japanese or understand any of it, will they recognize the symbols more often than just picking at random, just by matching logos and pictures? I guess I could get into a silly rant about how there's too much consumerism in the racing here, but I think I've already done that, so I'll stay away from it. Too much advertising in a game that I paid money for. And I've literally been paid money to be advertised to. And we're on lap 7 of 10 and bored again. I like the audio of the people when they shout out something every now and then. I'm not so sure the drivers would really ever hear any of that, but you hear every now and then somebody will say, "You're so cool," or "You suck," or if you're doing badly. It happens just on rare occasions, so it's not repetitive. But then the horns and the noise is incredibly repetitive. And it's an option I wish you could turn it off, but you can't. In fact, you can't turn off most of the audio. The only thing you can turn off is music. But if I could just have a nice, empty race, nobody shouting at me, making noise, to listen to the car's engine and try to drive it as best as possible by ear, that would be nice, but it's just not there. That's one of those features where it wouldn't take very much time to create either, because all they have to do is remove the audio from playing. The people could still run around and jump, or you could have them not animate too. That would work. Weird sound effect there. Another bunch of rep that I can't do anything with. So that's gold, and we won't ever get this to gold because we can't do this Gymkhana sprint. And I could skip. I really could skip to the end here, but I suppose we can't or shouldn't. So is the ultimate rally just going to be all the rally races on all the tracks? The Ultimate Rally X the same, Rallycross, Ultimate Trailblazer, Ultimate Landrush, Ultimate Gymkhana. Ooh, we might have trouble at the Ultimate Gymkhana. And then we need 50 points to unlock the next part, and then 50 points to unlock this, and then 150 points to unlock this. And I really could just skip all this it's not necessary. In fact, I could have skipped half of this too. Let's just hop into it though. Whatever kind of car you want.
No one doubts your skills at rally. Show them why you're one of the best.
And in Unreal Engine, they have the speed tree middleware. Middleware being software that you buy as a software developer to help you make your software more quickly or more robust. And so with Speed Tree, you could do something like all the trees in these forests easily. However, I don't believe there is a Speed City function or middleware. So making the buildings of Shibuya is much more intensive of a job.
Easy left over crest. Easy right long.
And the thing is, you don't look at trees that much, so
40, keep right
it's
into.
if the trees are actually not very detailed or very repetitive or
Into open hairpin right. 40.
made up of only a small number
Over
of
narrow bridge.
shades
into
of
medium right
green, you're not
Medium
as
left,
likely
keep in.
to recognize
Crest,
it.
40. Medium left. Don't cut. Into. Medium right into medium left. 40. Easy right.
So
keep in.
it's possible
Jump,
that
mid,
house we
onto
drove
tarmac,
by
into easy right.
took,
Easy left.
say,
onto
6
gravel.
months to make that
40.
house,
Keep right into
and
hairpin
every
left.
single tree took 5 minutes. It's possible. It's not
Onto tarmac.
likely.
over finish.
I would imagine they would have gone in and hand moved some trees around. It's pretty obvious they've made sure some trees show up next to houses. Another race down. We keep going. Hopefully all the races are short. So my car is parked there. This car is parked all over the place on the people's houses. Interesting. But if all the remaining races are short, that'd be nice. But we know it's not the case. All of the Ultimate Series are gonna be really long.
Medium left onto tarmac.
There's
Crest,
a
easy right. Cut. Easy
diving
left. Cut.
diving bell there
Crest. Jump.
on the
Medium
ground.
left into medium right. Medium left into medium right. Crest. Jump into medium left over narrow bridge.
Here we go. I'm moving.
40. Hard left. Cut. 40. Medium right. Very long. Keep in.
Keep on moving.
Easy left. Cut into
forward
easy
here.
right.
And we're in first
left,
place,
very
and
long.
we're probably going to be in first place for the rest of the race.
Over crest.
This is
medium
one of
right,
those
cut
rally
into.
races where you don't even see your
Easy left,
competition, so
Medium right. Easy left. Cut.
well, there I saw my
Medium right.
competition as I drove past them, going much faster than they
Medium
were.
left. Into open hairpin right.
They could have done a star
60
system, a
through building.
collectible system in this
Easy
game.
right. Cut.
That would have been fine. If they had done something like that, that puts an interesting balance in the races and gives you a reason why you might actually want to redo them a couple of times. Because if, for instance, there was a star that required me to drive into the lake at some point, and totally crash and ruin my chances of succeeding and getting first place, that'd be great. That's a great reason to redo the race. Instead, this game just tells you to redo the race and makes you redo the race. And we're going to see that when we get into the Ultimate Rally. It's just going to make us redo. This race will be an Ultimate Rally, almost certainly. All the races will be an Ultimate Rally. It'll be no less than 4 races using every single track available.
Easy left. 40. Keep right into. Medium left over crest.
For this racetrack, you could hide
Into.
stars
Open hairpin right. 40.
on the left and right star, behind
Over narrow
the
bridge.
left
into
and right
medium
side,
right.
behind everything. And
Medium left. Keep
you
in.
could do it fairly
Crest. 40.
commonly.
Medium left. Don't cut.
Or you
into.
could just have 3 stars
Medium right.
hidden in
medium
the
left.
level, and that would work
40.
very well
Easy
too.
right. Keep in. Jump. Mid. Onto tarmac. Into.
Let's go ahead and rewind there. That was a pretty bad one.
Easy left. Onto gravel.
I don't have to
40,
learn my
keep right.
lesson of
Hairpin left.
overdriving in the corners at all.
Onto tarmac. 60. Easy left.
Because
into
I can
easy
just
right. Cut.
rewind.
Easy left. Cut.
As long as I don't mess up
Medium right.
5
onto tarmac.
times in a
Medium
race,
left. Tighten.
I'm fine.
Medium right. Onto gravel. Medium left.
Go.
Keep in. Easy right. Keep in. Easy left. Long. Easy right. Into crest. Jump to finish.
Another race down. Let's go a little long and go ahead and do the final race. Just try to speed this up. Still very consistently getting that hitch. Haven't seen it crash in a while. Haven't seen any real bugs. We may have seen a car just spawn in out of the blue. But for the amount of time we spent on this game, the amount of bugs have not been high enough to really complain about them. There have been some, and that's a problem. Oddly crashing Steam in total, which you would think you couldn't do.
Easy right.
Maybe that's the reason why it's not on Steam anymore, or available for sale.
Into medium right. Down.
I doubt it. I just think
Medium right. Tightens.
even Codemasters, the maker of this game, know that if they were to put out DiRT 4 while DiRT 3 was still available, and DiRT 3 was cheaper because it's
Medium
older,
left. Into
I
medium
think
right.
a significant portion of people would buy DiRT 3
Into medium left.
instead of DiRT 4 at
Medium
full
right.
price.
Into open hairpin left.
And I bet there's not a big difference there.
Medium right. Into easy left. Jump. Dip. Easy right into hard right.
Keep on racing here. Keep
40.
on racing.
Keep left over crest. Onto gravel. Medium right into medium left. Medium right. Into crest jump. Medium left onto tarmac. Hard right. 40 easy right into. Easy left. Onto gravel tightens. Into medium left.
Just keep on pinging this guy
Easy
until he
right.
gets out of my way.
Into medium right.
A little dark
left
driving right now.
80.
I wouldn't
Medium left
have been
long.
opposed to a few races pitch
Medium right
blackness
into easy left
where
onto
you
tarmac.
could really only see
40
based
medium
on
right.
the lights on your car.
Crest, jump into easy left. Easy right. Into medium left through gate.
There's a lot of opportunity here for driver education
Keep right.
of
Into
kids who
medium left long.
may not be driving yet, or may be closely approaching,
Medium right. Tightens late over
or
crest.
starting to learn to drive, and that
Medium
would be
left long.
teenagers.
Downhill into.
They could put some
Easy right into
explanations
easy left
in here and have some fun stuff.
long. Medium right through gate.
So, for
into.
instance,
Easy
show
left over
how
crossroads,
difficult
onto
and
gravel.
dangerous it is to drive at night by having
Easy left into.
have you drive
medium
at
right.
night and then have the headlights flicker
Crest,
on and off
60.
between brightness and
Easy right over crest into.
brights
medium
and
right cut
normal
into.
and totally off,
Easy left keep in.
just to show the
Over
difference.
flying finish.
Maybe have a funny drunk mode or intoxicated mode where it shows you how difficult it would be to drive a car when drunk. That's something that needs to be really imbued into
Yes,
the brains
brilliant.
of
We're getting
people,
so close to the Super Series.
because they
All right, calm down, Ellie. If you're any more excited, you could power my MP3 player.
a lot of the people, once their inhibitions are lowered, feel like they can drive home drunk, and it should just be a solid thought in everybody's head: no, you can't, no, you shouldn't, call a cab. And people should learn that lesson as part of their education in driving, and they don't, or they don't remember it if they do learn it. So that's one race down. We're 10 points away from unlocking this one, 70 points from unlocking this one. And of course we could skip, but I don't think we will. And we're done with this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment if you want to, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.